What is up, guys? Mobile Carrier News here, and we got some news. T-Mobile wants to press for 12 gigahertz auction, and they're basically saying they want to bet and place a buy on 12 gigahertz. Now I'm sure every carrier would want to get their hands on 12 gigahertz of spectrum that would increase any of carrier service by a lot. Now we do know T-Mobile has 2.5 gigahertz of Sprint when they merged. Now that is quite a lot. I'm not gonna lie. It actually sounds a little, but in my opinion, it does sound a lot. Now 12 gigahertz. That's way more than 2.5 gigahertz. And basically Dish and T-Mobile are still fighting over their little shutdown. But Dish is not really okay with this because they don't want every carrier just going off and getting the next wave of spectrum when they're not even close to building their own. I mean, I'm pretty sure they're working right now as we speak on it, like because they partnered up with US Cellular, but it's still gonna take Dish a while to get their 5G up and running. I mean, I hope they can be quick about it. I really hope they can. But these two big companies had just been fighting for a while now. Now they're fighting over 12 gigahertz. And I can honestly see what Dish is coming out from their point of view. They basically don't want to be left behind. Now, don't get me wrong. Dish's partnership with US Cellular, it is a good partnership. I'm not really sure why T-Mobile, Verizon, or AT&T didn't want to take their partnership. I guess they didn't follow with their business plan, or I'm not really sure how that worked out. But I can see what Dish is trying to do. Like, they don't want to be left behind. They want to be at the top or like close to these carriers. And I understand what Dish is going through, but I honestly believe let's say this 12 gigahertz auction goes through, and then Verizon and AT&T, all three of them start deciding, okay, do we want to buy our own? We'll throw in $1 billion. Verizon will throw in 10 billion. AT&T 14 billion. T-Mobile 20 billion. Just to buy 12 gigahertz of spectrum or more, because there's so much spectrum and data and capacity for all us customers that want to use data on a daily basis. Like for right now, I'm using my 5G network instead of my Wi-Fi. Now, I honestly believe T-Mobile is, maybe they're going a little off with this, but then I can kind of understand from T-Mobile's perspective that they want to be the top carriers, a top dog. AT&T, they want to be the number one. Verizon, they all want to be number one in the U.S., the best of the best. You know how cell phone carriers go right now. But I think this should just really focus on themselves and not worry about T-Mobile or AT&T or Verizon. I really don't think they should worry about any of these. They just really focus on themselves. I can understand what Dish is going through right now. They don't have a solid 5G network. That's why they just partnered up with US Cellular recently. That's why they're using some of T-Mobile's old spectrum from Sprint, which they're turning into T-Mobile towers. That's why they're shutting off CDMA towers, might I add. But really, they should really focus on themselves. And then them just getting involved and just telling T-Mobile, hold on, we should pause this because we're not ready with our service yet. I honestly think Dish is just wasting their time, and they really need to just focus on themselves and just not not get too caught up in the moment. Because if Dish is focusing on this instead of their 5G, I mean don't get me wrong, they're building out their 5G as we're speaking right now, but I feel like Dish will stab themselves in the back if they're not focused on themselves with their 5G network and they're just focusing on other stuff. Because T-Mobile had just came out with their 5G network in December 2019. Then Verizon and AT&T jumped off in 2020. It is now 2021. By 2023, in 2 years, like, all these carriers are gonna have extreme and crazy 5G coverage, and and LTE as well, but mostly 5G. They're gonna have crazy 5G coverage. They're gonna have a lot of ultra wideband, a lot of capacity, millimeter, low band, all the high millimeter waves. And Dish, if they continue this, they're just gonna be left in the dust. And honestly, they're not gonna have anyone to blame but themselves. Yeah, I can kind of understand, them blaming T-Mobile, like, why you're shutting down the service when we're trying to use to build our 5G. They put themselves there. They should not be blaming T-Mobile. I understand T-Mobile gave away Boost Mobile to them, but, at the end of the day, Dish just needs to figure out, what their roundabouts are, and just fix the way, what they have. If they can partner up with US Cellular, then they should be fine. If they can get another carrier to maybe get more coverage, they're solid. Because they don't have their own, towers, they have to, partner up with different companies, and then later on, they'll build their own towers or lease or rent out the towers and the spectrum. But if Dish does not, focus on themselves, and just comes up at off T-Mobile with their 12 gigahertz option, just anything in general, they're gonna be left behind, and it's gonna be a problem. They're literally gonna be. They will. I mean, don't. There will be a fourth carrier. They'll be the fourth. They'll be the last. And that's the last thing. I believe Dish wants to do. I do not think they want to be last. I mean, you do not want to be last, especially especially with the carrier thing going on. I really hope Dish fixes their problems, and they just better fix themselves, because if not, they're gonna be left in the dust, and it's gonna be their fault, no one else's. I really hope they fix what they can do, and just not worry about other things, less important things like this.